In the beginning, it was an occasional loose dog. The numbers were low, the numbers were manageable, and the numbers have just continued to grow exponentially. And this is an inbreeding situation. This is, blind breeding.
There is no inbreeding going on here. That's a lie. No, let me tell you, and don't mute this microphone. Listen to me for a minute. I said to listen to me for a minute, or we'll just end this right now. This can go to court. I'm telling you, I'm not going to fool with this anymore. Me and the Officer McKenzie don't get along. I hate her, and she can go to hell and I'm not going to repeat my words. Okay, it is enough. I have a right to ownership of property. These dogs belong to me. You know why this is all going on? This is all going on because Officer McKenzie doesn't like me. She's saying that this is an inbred situation. None of these dogs have been inbred. That's an out and out lie. Shoeshine is not. Listen to me for a minute and shut your mouth.
For several minutes.
This conversation is ended. You have a good day. Do whatever you want. We'll end up in court. I'll see you there. All of you. Yep, my name is Kenneth Colley.
Oh, okay. That's familiar.
Yeah, I'm related to Barbie. I'm Barbie's boyfriend and related to Lassie. It's Colley instead of IE.
That's good. Not a direct relation then.
No, not a direct, just distant kin.
Mr. Colley is the applicant for this evening, but I did see in the application that the property owner is Mr. William LeBarge. Do I have that understanding correctly?
Referring to me? Yes.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can, but you're not on video, so you may not be able to see the others. But Mr. LeBarge has his hand up.
There we go. Don't let me break the camera. If it's coming through.
My husband is the owner of the property, Gerald Ferraza. He's here with me as well, and I'm here to ask for two things. One is to uphold the denial of the permit, and two, I want action. Even if the action is a go for me to be able to start getting rid of some of the excess dogs, one way or another, because it's just adversely affecting my mental health. Thank you.
You said you were the owner, Mr. LeBarge, of that property?
Yeah, my husband is the owner of the property, and he doesn't want the dogs here as well. And certainly, I brought this matter to the attention of the animal control officers a year ago from last April when we had 6 dogs, 4 dogs, or at least 3 puppies becoming 6 months old, and I gave away 2 of them to get my sanity back, and then he's been wanting me to get them back, and we still have that have a dog from the first litter, dog from the second litter, 3 dogs from the third litter, and 6 puppies that are about 10 weeks old currently. I'm just looking for an end to this matter. Thank you.
Could you tell me who the actual owner is then? Is his name Jerry?
Yeah.
And the last name?
Ferraza.
How do you spell that, please?
Ferrazza. He can come over and chat as well if you like to ask him a question directly.
No, because I understand that the application had your name down as the landowner.
Yeah. Yeah. But we just simply been wanting relief from this. The dogs are nice, but too much of a good thing in itself is not a good thing. And those who think that 8 dogs is fine, they can go and live with 8 dogs in their own house. Thank you. I'll let others speak, or you can ask me more questions.
Mr. Paulo.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. So, as you've heard, the people who are involved in this case have been working with animal control. They've also been working with the health department with our inspector, Adam DePercio. And so I wonder if it would be helpful for Adam to give just some information about the reason we're here this evening, which is the reason that we were not able to approve the permit, the application, and that's related to incomplete information. So Adam, I wonder if you would be able to give just a brief overview of sort of where we are in terms of the permit application and our response, which was included in the meeting materials.
Hi, yes. First, thank you for having me. My name is Adam. I'm one of the inspectors from the health department. I am the inspector that was assigned to this case, so I can give you a little bit of information here. We received this case, if I remember correctly, back in like December of 2020 due to a complaint. It was notified that Kenneth, who is the owner of the dogs, had multiple dogs without a permit. So it took a little bit of time to really kind of reach out to him and get the permit, but we were able to get an animal permit in April 14th. So the permit application was a little bit inconsistent and it was incomplete. I say inconsistent because on multiple pages, it really was unclear of just how many dogs Kenneth wanted in the application. Some on one page, I believe it said 7 dogs. On another page, it said 8 to 9. So we just wanted clarification on that part, as well as some incomplete documents such as certified mail to the abutters and a written approval from the owner of the house, as well as other things that was listed in the initial permit denial letter. So we gave Ken a deadline of May 28th of 2021 to give us the rest of the required documentations and the edited application, to which he did not submit that. And that is the reason for our denial letter on the department side. And we sent that denial letter on July 7th. So there was a bit of time in between the initial deadline until the actual denial letter to even get that. But Kenneth did, request to go before the board to then explain himself.
Thanks, Adam. So I just wanted to provide that context from the health department side in terms of the process of requesting information, reviewing it, observing it was incomplete, so requesting additional information, and ultimately not receiving a complete application, and therefore not approving or denying the application. So tonight we're here at the request of the applicant to discuss the response to the denial of that application.
Any other comments by Ken concerning the application and the ability to submit it correctly or not submit it correctly?
Did you address that to me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yes. I don't know if this is the proper time for me to speak on. Yes, baby, it's okay. Hold on. I don't know if this is the proper time for me to speak on this matter or not, or if you just want me to give a short answer to what you said. What was it that you was wanting to know?
Well, specifically, the owner of the property is apparently not Mr. LeBarge, but it's Jerry, and you need to have Jerry's permission to have the dogs on the property. And I think we need to have a written permission so we can document it. And we need to have a clarification of the actual permit application to the actual number of dogs that would be on the property, so that we can look at it, with the specific, numbers. The permit's been denied already. The question is, you're appealing it or asking to have that overturned. And I think we need correct information and more specific information if we're even going to consider it.
Okay, let me try to be as brief as I can. Okay, baby. Okay, Specs, go and lay down. Okay, right now is not a good time. Go lay down, baby. First of all, I'm very much a dog lover. Second of all, when I moved here from Virginia, yes, Shoeshine, hold on. When I moved here from Virginia, okay, and I moved up here approximately, 8-9 years ago, 2012, I believe. One of the very first things that I did when I moved up here is that to let everybody know that I had dogs. And I told William LeBarge, Mr. LeBarge, that I had dogs, and he said that was fine, that Jerry's always wanted a dog. And that was his exact words to me. As far as the dogs go, yes, they have proliferated. Originally, I had 3 dogs. Shoeshine is one that I picked up from Kentucky, found him in a road. He was a baby, and so he actually almost got ran over by an 18-wheel coal truck. So I rescued him before I moved up here. And later, I brought Bear and Duke up here, who was a Great Pyrenees and also a English Pointer. The quality of my dogs has always been great, and I know that's not what's in question. The dogs, and I'm having a little difficulty from one little girl right here, Fiona. She's not able to have babies. She had a bad pregnancy, and that was one of the first pregnancies that occurred. Her and Charlotte are Anatolian mixed shepherds. Both of them, which I always wanted Shoeshine, and I always promised him a girlfriend, okay? And we won't go any farther than that. And Shoeshine and Fiona and Charlotte had babies. Charlotte's babies came out okay. She had 4 on the first litter, and Fiona's was 6. But unfortunately, with Fiona's pregnancy having turned the course, only 3 of the babies survived. So I was going to let her keep one of her babies. That was Zeus. One of the other ones, and the whole understanding of this process was that when I let Bear and Duke go, a long time ago, I had 2 dogs by the name of Isis and Dooger. Fiona, stay right there, baby. By Isis. And right now, one of my little girls, Fiona's hurt. She got hurt the other day, and she's being a little particular about who comes around her. But if you hear any growling, it's not anything. It's just warnings. Come on, baby, come over here. Sorry about this. At any rate, I got off track. Let's see.
How many dogs did you come? Excuse me.
Fiona's pregnancy went bad, and so we had 3. One of them I was going to keep, Zeus. First of all, we got to this point, and the whole process was trying to get a replication between Charlotte, who is a very good-looking red Anatolian shepherd, and Shoeshine to be able to get a semblance of Isis and Dooger. The process worked, and I've got one right over here laying in the floor. I don't know if you can see him or not, if the camera's right, but that is Phoenix. And Phoenix is the red that I wanted, but I wanted them reversed. I wanted the red one to be a female and the other one to be a male. They came out in a lot of mannerisms similar to what Isis and Dooger was. They had the exact color. The sexes was reversed. And so Isis and Dooger was basically reproduced, but in an opposite color pattern. At any rate, I was going to, out of those litters, the one that had 4 and 6, but 3 died, I was going to keep one of those puppies, Zeus, for Fiona, because she could never have babies again. She had to have a hysterectomy to save her life, and one of the puppies that ended up dying, That was about a $5,000 bill. I'm not a rich person. I get by and I live on $800 a month. I do ask and sometimes borrow money from Mr. LeBarge, and he has helped me out. I won't deny that. I like Mr. LeBarge. If it wasn't for that, I would have already gone and filed an arrest warrant and already taken out a lawsuit in the theft of my 2 puppies. 2 police officers have already been here at this house. 2 police officers has told him to call the people that had the puppies and tell them to bring them back. He has violated the word of 2 police officers, has not followed their directive. I'm going to end up either having to take him to court and either see the magistrate for felony theft, because those puppies are worth $700 each. The puppies I currently have, I do sell and have sold them, and I have records to show that these puppies sell for anywhere between $400 to $600. One person bought one that I was going to keep after Bear had been released. I was going to call him Bear Bear. A gentleman and his son had already purchased a female, and when they came back, they wanted Bear Bear. And I wasn't going to sell him, but they offered me $700 for him, and they gave me $700 for the Bear Bear, and I can prove that, and I have a receipt, and they've already said that they would acknowledge that.
Mr. Colley, can we focus?
I'm just giving you a brief relay. I'm going to get right straight to that. I'm just letting you know.
I want to know how many dogs you had when you came from Virginia.
When I came from Virginia, I had 3.
Okay. How many dogs do you have right now?
Right now, I currently have 8 dogs. 3 of them are juveniles. They're less than a year old.
Okay. I'm not into animal husbandry, so I want to keep this focused if we can.
Okay.
You came with 2 dogs. You presently have 8 dogs.
3. I came with 3 dogs.
The police officer who showed up was who?
I don't remember their names right offhand. I couldn't tell you that.
Was it the animal control officer?
It was, well, animal control has been here, yes, and they know that I'm the owner of the animals. And also that the police have been here. They know I'm the owner of the animals. As far as kind of lost track on what you was asking.
I'm not questioning the ownership of the animals. I'm trying to question the number of animals you have, what you came with, what you have now, and what the conditions are that the animals are in, and whether or not you can complete or redo a new application with the proper owner and with the proper number of dogs, so that, you know, because you've presently been denied, you know, keeping the dogs.
Yes.
And so that's something you have to take care of. You have to somehow farm the dogs out or whatever. You've been denied. If you come back with a new application with proper information, that would be a second issue. But right now, I want to stay focused on where you are with 8 dogs. I would like to have the comment from the animal control officer, if I could, as to what the situation is. Adam gave us the board's, the department's denial, and I'd like to have.
And one of the reasons that I did not get that completed is because I have to focus my income. I live on about $800 or $900 a month. And that order, I take excellent care of my animals. I think animal control will address that. I understand that.
Let's ask animal control their opinion. Is animal control there? Officer McKenzie. I think
she was on, but she seems to have dropped off.
She was there.
Yep, just a moment.
Well, maybe hopefully she'll come back.
Is there any action that needs to be taken this evening, given that we have incomplete information and it's a denied request at the moment?
I think at this point, without further information, it's the permit's been denied, and I don't see us changing that.
Well, one of the reasons is the incomplete information. And one of those incomplete informations, I provided a statement that was hand signed by 3 or 4 individuals. They were the main, three of the 4 of the main surrounding individuals of this house. One directly to the right-hand side of the house, the one directly to the left-hand side of the house, and a mechanic's shop. All 3 of them signed, or 4 of them, however many it was, I don't remember right now, but there was a piece of paper submitted that showed 3 individuals or 4 individuals having signed saying that they did not have any disapproval of having the dogs there. The biggest reason, sir, that this is going on is because Mr. LeBarge let 2 animals go. He basically stole 2 of my dogs. I have already told him that I'm leaving this property. Now, one thing I want you to know is that I told one of the police officers that the very instant I leave this house, I will never see those puppies again. And the officer agreed with me. And I will track down that officer and let you speak to him in person. Bless you. The fact of the matter is that I am only here until those 2. Are we connected or not?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, something went wrong with the screen. Okay, there it is. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. One of the officers, if I can find out and let you speak to him and ask him if you have any disbelief of me. But one thing I will be is truthful with you, and I know that disbelief is not in play right now or anything like that.
Colley,
I can't provide what
Colley, we need to stay focused right now on the permit that's been denied.
Yes, and the permit asks for the certified letters from the property owners to be sent. I did a draft drawing of an outlay of the property. I submitted everything that I thought was appropriate. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I sent everything that I thought was appropriate, including a piece of paper where the 3 or 4 individuals signed it with no disapproval. And so let me hold my mind's on thought, please. I know that it requires or wants to have certified letters sent from people and so forth, but I don't have the money. I can't send a certified letter from 3 or 4 or 5 different individuals and everything for $40 or $50, $60, $100 and so forth. I can't do things like that. So I walked to the individuals and spoke with them in person and had them sign that, and you'll see in that paper that it shows that they did not have any disapproval of it.
I saw the signatures and the approval.
I'm right here on my point. The only reason this disapproval and Mr. LeBarge saying that they want the dogs off the property is because he knows that there is an issue, a criminal charge of felony theft of those 2 puppies worth more than $700 each. And he's doing this because he wants to be able to have, which I've already told him I'm going to leave. All he has to do is tell me where the 2 dogs are and I will be gone. I will be out of Framingham and this won't even be an issue. Second of all, while my mind's on thought.
I have to stop you.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough right now.
I have to ask you to stop because we're not here to navigate.
I understand that, but can I please finish my thought pattern?
No, at this point, I'm going to have to say we've gone far enough on that. Officer McKenzie is back on our screen, and I'm going to ask her to give her opinion.
Well, this is a moot point. It doesn't matter about opinion. The fact of the matter is, if you want to get down to the point, I have a constitutional right to understand.
I'm going to mute your microphone so we can hear from.
Well, let's just.
And then we will unmute you when it's time to speak.
Oh my goodness.
Officer McKenzie, are you still there?
I am. I'm sorry about that. I accidentally deleted myself instead of raising my hand. I apologize.
But you came back. Thank you.
Yes. So I have been involved with East Street, looking back through my records since all the way back in 2014. And in the beginning, it was an occasional loose dog. The numbers were low. The numbers were manageable. And the numbers have just continued to grow exponentially. And this is an inbreeding situation. This is, Blind
No,
breeding.
there is no inbreeding
Please,
going on here.
Mr. Colley, Mr.
That's a
Colley.
lie. No, let me tell you, and don't mute this
No,
microphone.
Mr.
Right here for
Colley,
just a
you have
second. Listen to me for a minute. I said to listen to me for a minute, or we'll just end this right now. This can go to court. I'm telling you, I'm not going to fool with this anymore. Me and the Officer McKenzie don't get along. I hate her, and she can go to hell and I'm not going to
I think
repeat
that's
my
enough.
word.
Mr.
Okay,
Colley,
yeah, it is enough. I have a right to ownership of property. These dogs belong to me. You know why this is all going on? This is all going on because Officer McKenzie doesn't like me. She's saying that this is an inbred situation. None of these dogs have been inbred. That's an out and out lie. Shoe shine is not. Listen to me for a minute and
we
shut
have
your
listened to you for
this
several minutes.
conversation is ended. You have a good day. Do whatever you want. We'll end up in court. I'll see you there. All of you.
Officer
Yes.
McKenzie, would you like to finish what you were trying to say?
Well, that's kind of what I've been dealing with. Mr. LeBarge has approached my office multiple times for help to reduce the number of the dogs in the home. He and his partner, Jerry, as the homeowners, do not want these dogs in the house. He's begged me to help him. And the best tool that we have in the city is our permitting process. And now that the permit has been denied, we can take the next step. And, we can, unfortunately, start applying penalties. From an animal husbandry point of view, the volume of dogs that are being bred in this household do concern me. If I don't know, I have a lot of concerns. It's just not a healthy environment.
Okay, thank you very much. That's
Kathy, this is Laura. Mr. Colley is clearly agitated, but also very attached to the animals, and just would like to understand what is a path forward that will, allow for the correct next steps to be taken as it relates to de-densifying the number of animals at the property, but also without escalating for Mr. Colley's, mental health and considerations for getting stressed and anxious about next steps.
So it's something that I want to be very cautious about and handle diplomatically, because I don't want to ever push anyone into an emotional state. It's a situation where the homeowner keeps contacting my office and asks us for help that I can't provide immediately. This is a long process. And really, citations are the tools that I have available to me through the laws. And in order to have a kennel permit, it must first be inspected by the animal control officer, which I would have to be granted access to the space where the dogs are kept, which in turn is Mr. Colley's living space in the basement area of the home. That is not something that has been granted. I have seen the dogs, and yes, Mr. Colley feeds the dogs. The dogs look healthy. I'm not going to, I have no problem with the health of the dogs. It's the sheer volume and the ongoing complaints from the homeowner that he wants the dogs out.
That's understandable. And I would just reiterate what Ms. Hausman has said in the sense of, trying to do it carefully and not cause him further agitation. Ms. LeBarge, you put your hand up? You're muted, I think.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that outburst there, but of course that's what I've been dealing with, and I had told him from early on that he can't have all these dogs. I objected to him breeding the dog when he told me that he was going to start having puppies. I told him, no, I don't want it to happen here. Find a different place before you start doing that. But even not just one, but two at the same time. And then I alerted animal control like April, the first litter, and then May we have a second litter. And then and that summer I said I didn't want a third litter, and now and then we had a third litter just before Thanksgiving, fourth litter Memorial Day. It's like, when is this going to stop? And when I have about 10 litters worth of dogs here, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I just thought that I would be able to. And also, I don't think they were inbred, at least for the first 2 litters. Possible that it could have been with a third or fourth litter with Phoenix. But regardless, the number of dogs is a big issue, and it's like this is a system where it's just failing me. Fining him to death is not going to do it unless there's some other action. It's like, I want the dogs, GONE, gone, and it's like I was willing to, like, say, go for a kennel license with 4 dogs, keep the first dog, with the idea that any dogs that pass away would not be replaced till we got down to, say, 1 dog, in which case he could have a second dog. Given that Shoeshine is about 9 years old, maybe another 4 years before he passed. But if this is what I have to put up with, and they just simply have to go and have him evicted. And if I have him evicted, he's not going to find a place. Never mind about a place that's going to let him have dogs. Never mind about a pack of dogs. So it's like I'm just been looking for relief, because it does adversely affect my mental health big time. Having the dogs bark and fighting and what have you. I've just, as I say, been frustrated, and yes, we had a police incident where we both got arrested. I got released the following day. He was in jail, so I bailed him out since he had nobody else, and I didn't want him to be getting COVID because I take COVID dead serious, as if my life depend on it, and say what goes around comes around, and rather than have him get infected with COVID in jail, as he was in there long enough for it, and get him out, at least have my whole house vaccinated, so we have the herd immunity within the house. But I feel bad for the guy, but there may come a point where we may just have to have him move on elsewhere.
Well, we'll have to see that. Thank you, Mr. LeBarge. Officer McKenzie again.
I'm sorry, I didn't take my hand down.
Oh, okay, fine. Mr. Paulo, in terms of, at this point, should we have a motion to support the denial, or what would be the proper?
Well, right. So this is brought before the board because we denied the application. So I think the motion that the board is considering is whether or not to uphold or to revise that decision. So I'll leave that to you and Ms. Hausman to discuss.
I would make a motion that we would approve the decision by the board that has been made to deny this kennel license.
I second that.
So I just want to, I hate to interrupt, but this was an application for an animal permit. This is not a kennel license. We do not offer kennel licenses. So this was an animal permit application to the health department.
Okay, if you can reword that, the motion.
So you said you made a motion to uphold the denial of the animal permit as requested by Mr. Colley. And I seconded.
Without further discussion, Adam, do you want to say anything?
I was just going to ask if Adam had any further comment on this particular case, or if you feel you've shared everything you needed to.
I don't believe I have any further comments. I believe that as far as the health department goes, it's our responsibility to obtain a permit for 4 or more dogs. I can't comment on the health and well-being. I was never able to do an inspection or anything like that. So as far as the contents of the application, we did not receive anything, therefore we denied it.
Thank you. Without further discussion, I'll ask for a vote approving the motion.
You might need to do a voice vote, yeah. So Dr. Moore, you just voted. Mrs. Houseman, excuse me, votes, yep.
Okay. Thank you, Adam, very much. That was good. And Officer McKenzie, thank you for your input as well. It's obvious that he's very much attached to these dogs. It's a very emotional situation. And I can only hope that it's resolved and that you are made right again, Mr. LeBarge, as well. So.
Yeah, thank you.